Alright guys, so I think it's been a minute since we had anything exciting for Gundam Breaker 4. So finally they roll out the December late update. So I mean it's nearly the end of the month and they're finally dropping something. So let's just quickly talk about some update changes, or they call it the major update fixes. So there's honestly not really anything new. It's pretty much all adjustment and whatnot. So the biggest one that they are adjusting is the adjustment to the long range weapon and the long range skill. So it's essentially increased attack power and ammo for most long range weapon and long range skills. So this is pretty much every range build supposedly does have a decent size increase in a way. I am, well, in terms of the background gameplay, what you guys are seeing, I didn't really notice like the biggest changes of all, but I'll definitely probably do like a separate build, hop into like a new type quest to kind of see, or like the long range weapons specifically, or themselves just doing better overall? Are they being able to shred down the enemy that has those HP bar? Is there any improvement? I can probably gauge it from there, but other than that, there's not really like a noticeable increase right off the bat. So definitely do need more testing on that. The other adjustment is to the Great Sword weapon category. So ground break with Great Sword is now possible and parts has been increased, and parts have increased drop rate. So I'm not really sure what they meant by the drop rate. I assume after you break them you can accumulate more parts, but having the ground break on the great sword is obviously something that most people will find that intriguing to have in a way. I don't usually use great sword as far as my main source of melee weapon or close range weapon, but that is definitely something I will probably do a separate build just to see how that kind of turns out. So that should be fairly exciting for those that actually main the great sword. The others is not going to be combat related. Is this is pretty much for the builders part. So how they're wording it is pretty wonky in a way. So imagine you guys are trying to equip a builder's part that you can actually mirror match the opposite side, and sometimes you find yourselves like, whoops, I wanted to mirror match it but I accidentally put like a part in the middle. Well, what they allow you to do for this update is even though there's like a, even though you did not mirror match the part like the one that's follow the next line following that, but if you have a empty slot, so it does not mean that the pair part is not taking a one slot only now. It's still going to be using two slots. So what that means is if you have an open spot on any one of the slots and you do want to pair a part, you can do that. But I think it's just the word that the way they're phrasing it sounds pretty weird. It does not make sense when you're reading it. So, but yeah, it's not the biggest changes, but I think it's definitely pretty good if you do, if you do not want to like, oh, rearrange everything. If you do have open slot, you can now feel free to do some pair parts, then you should be good to go. Up next, there is a function now that's being added where you can send diorama works to the diorama monitor. So as far as the diorama stuff, I'm not really entirely sure how that should function, because I'll definitely say I have the least knowledge when it comes down to the diorama things. I suppose that should help players out, or it should kind of ease the process overall. Into this one is simply add a function to switch diorama works display in the monitor in the lobby. So I suppose that I don't know how that would entail. Like, yeah, you guys can definitely let me know a little bit more on that, but it seems like on the lobby aspect you can do something, you can turn on something with the diorama works. Not really sure how I feel about that, but you guys can definitely let me know. The last update is added a function to paste labels on the result page. So every time when you finish up a match, you get all the way to the end, you know how you score on your match, you get all the part selection or the parts that you have accumulated throughout the missions. It seems that now we can label in the result page as well. I don't know if that's something that's good or not, because like as far as the parts that you get, like the only thing that probably matters is getting the alternative setup for when you play the new type quest. because you guys do know they are kind of like an alternative version to most of the parts, specifically to your long range weapon. You get a different weapon skill, so I think that is a good thing if you do not want to accidentally sell them. But other than that, having kind of the label pasting is kind of like a good quality update in a way. It's not like the biggest things ever, but those little things does kind of help out in a way. But other than that, do definitely let me know how you guys feel about the December quality update, if you will, if you want to put it like that, or just the major update in general. Do definitely let me know how you guys feel about the update overall. And are there things that you guys are expecting them to fix and whatnot? You guys can definitely let me know that in the comment section below as well. But other than that, that is going to be it, and I'll be catching you guys all on the next one.